But isn't it nice to have a president who doesn't need a teleprompter? Not that he can read it anyway. He can't read it. Now think if I read my teleprompter and I'm going, well, let's see, because of the weakness in the economy, I'd like to apologize. Pause. 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 What was that? That's unbelievable. Pause. You know, I was watching it. I said, that was weird. They actually don't have pause in my teleprompter, you know. They have a blank space. That's like you see. If there's a response. If there's no response, you just keep going. You don't have pause.
Yeah, I was ready. They didn't have my back. They were petty. I stayed in my bed. On that petty, I brought it right back.
Oh, beautiful people around the world. My beautiful patriots, my brothers and sisters. We're going to crack open a cold one in November, baby. I love y'all, man. Tonight has been a very eventful, funny, amazing night. You know, after responding to all the cruel, negative comments, and I even had somebody in the comment section who I sent a mega hat to, and y'all know I've already sent out over almost 1,000 hats in the last month to winners on the channel, family members, and it kind of hurts my feelings to see, you know, people, you know, talking trash or talking out they, you know, on my videos after I've blessed them and their family and stuff like that. So I'm not gonna mention the person's name, not gonna spread any hate or negativity. I'm all about showing you guys love, man. If you disagree with something on the channel or anything, a video or anything, you know, again, everybody's tied to their own opinion. I value that. You know, no matter what side you guys are on, no matter if you don't like a title, if you don't like a thumbnail, or if you don't like something that was said or anything, you know, it is what it is. I'm not going to take it to heart. Again, you guys nobody can hurt my feelings, man. There's actually a lot of creators, you know, like you guys see on the platform, you know, that they don't have the courage to spread what we're spreading. They don't have the courage to call the corruption out. You know, and I feel like a lot of us creators should be appreciated in the community. You know, there's a lot of creators that you guys watch along with this channel, me, you know. And again, when you come over here, you love me for who I am, my personality. A lot of people love me for my laugh. A lot of people dislike me for my laugh. You know, I read a lot of negative comments about my laugh. I'm trying not to laugh, man, but it's funny. People, do you understand when I get negative comments about my laugh or anything you don't like about the video, you boost the video. You know, you actually boost your dislike or your terrible comment that you thought that was gonna hurt my feelings. You boost my video, man. You know, nobody cares about your comment if you don't like my laugh, if you don't like something in the video. Because again, a lot of people don't have the courage to call what's going on out. A lot of people are silent, if we're being completely honest. So anyways, let's jump straight into this update coming from our brother Doug, man. Link will be in the description box down below. I love you guys, man, and I'm wishing the best in all you guys. Like, I encourage you to spread the love. Hug your loved ones. Check up on your people. Phone call, a simple text. It goes a long way, man. Check up on your people. Right now, people are struggling at an all-time high. Suicide rates are at an all-time high, man. People are struggling. Don't even want to wake up tomorrow. Don't even want to walk into the stores. You know, living paycheck to paycheck. Trying to put food on the table for their kids. 2 to 3, 4, 5, 6 side hustles. 12-hour shifts. Hell, sometimes longer than that. I encourage you to spread the love, man. There are bigger problems going on than what some of y'all be talking about in the comments. Just being completely honest. And again, a lot of people don't have the courage to call it out, but I'm going to call it out. I'm going to be transparent. I'm going to always be real with you guys, man. That's how I've been. I'm a reactor that have touched millions of people's hearts and souls and reached out to thousands of people. I've talked to people, you know, that are going through the worst, that are missing loved ones, you know, that have fought battles, that have went to war, you know. Salute to our veterans. Salute to the ones that make the ultimate sacrifice. I've talked to people that have saved lives. Some real shit, man. Real life. So all that stuff in the comments does not bother me. Again, there's bigger things going on, bigger problems. And it's an election year, baby. 2024. We're going to crack open the code in November, baby. Let's go and crank it.
Is Trump at the Supreme Court?
Gonna turn my headphones up so y'all can hear it.
Okay, I know that Stormy Daniels, all the big talk and rage is Trump at the Supreme Court. Okay, I know that Stormy Daniels is big news to everybody else. I don't think that's big news. Okay, big deal. He got a gag order, $9,000 fine for breaking a gag order. He can find change to pay that. He can shake out his couch cushions at Mar-a-Lago and pay.
He can shake out his couch cushions at Mar-a-Lago. Yeah. 9,000 is like $2.
Pay that one off. But the immunity case at the Supreme Court, that is decisive, because if he has immunity to do what he wants in 2016 to 2020, a whole lot of these court cases go away. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the happy patriots are. I found a bunch of headlines. This will get you up to date on the biggest news regarding Trump's election. That's my only concern about all this is I want to get the guy elected. Here's 3 crummy headlines. This is The Hill. This one's an older headline, actually, but there's Lindsey Graham. Graham predicts Supreme Court will send Trump presidential immunity case to lower courts. That's true. That is what they think is there's so much back. Remember, Jack Smith pushed this court case up to the Supreme Court before he did let it go through the lower courts. And what lower courts do is they make smaller decisions. They build out, they put meat on the bone. And Jack Smith just went straight to the Supreme Court. They're probably going to send it back down to lower courts, saying this stuff needs to be decided down at a lower level. So that's all Lindsey Graham is saying there. Most experts agree on that. That the Supreme Court does not want to make a giant sweeping decision on a thinly argued, narrow, unique. They hate unique. They hate creative with the law. That's not what they do. Here's Business Insider with Trump next to Kavanaugh. Law review by SCOTUS. Justice offers clue in Trump immunity case. And it really is Kavanaugh who likes presidential immunity. Next up, here's ABC News. Surprising and disturbing legal experts react to Supreme Court. Now, anytime ABC News is saying surprising and disturbing, it's good. It's good news for Trump, because the internet went nuts when it looked like they weren't going to get the scalp they wanted from the Supreme Court. And this will backfire on Jack Smith. We got to put that guy in tears, in traction, and in therapy. Okay, not in traction. That implies physical harm to the guy. So this is at Slate magazine, a liberal magazine. Keeping up with the Trump trial sure sounds like the Supreme Court is about to give Trump a big win. That title looks like it's in Cooper's bold font. We like that. Good news. Here we go. Last week, the Supreme Court considered the question of whether Donald Trump should be shielded from federal prosecution by presidential immunity. And a majority of the conservative justices seemed ready to side with the former president. Meanwhile, in New York, Trump's hush money trial is continued, with prosecutors for Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg introducing their first witness. Blah, blah, blah. We're going to skip over that. Supreme Court might grant Trump some immunity, and I'm with them on some immunity. You'll hear the liberals say absolute immunity, complete immunity, total immunity. He can go and shoot someone kind of immunity. And that's obviously not what the law is trying to protect. It obviously doesn't apply. So if you have to exaggerate to that level, what is reasonable immunity? How about Trump saying, I question these election results? Reasonable. Last week, the Department of Justice and Trump's lawyers argued over presidential immunity at the Supreme Court in a case that could make or break special counsel Jack Smith's federal election interference indictment. And after nearly 3 hours of oral arguments, a majority of justices seemed poised to give the former president a hugely consequential win. That's how adverbs, that's a weak adverb. Hugely. A very Trump adverb. Hugely. Thank you, the slate. Hugely important win. Those sound as bad as my titles on my videos. John Sauer, Trump's attorney, argued the, quote, presidency as we know it, unquote, would be over if presidents were not granted immunity from criminal charges, claiming that vindictive prosecutors would target them for any controversial decisions made in office as soon as they leave it. That's the purpose of presidential immunity, by the way, is to keep the next guy from punishing you like a banana republic does. And that's very reasonable given the cases that we've seen come up against Trump. The Supreme Court are watching it happen in real time. If they say he doesn't have immunity, then they know that they're approving all five or six of these bogus lawsuits, and they will continue to politicize an election that should not be politicized in that way. Okay, and then the other side, Michael Dreeben, a lawyer representing Jack Smith's office, emphasized that the Supreme Court has never recognized absolute presidential immunity. See that? Absolute they bring in. How about just, do they recognize presidential immunity? And they're going to try to make what Trump did seem absolute, seem like he was shooting a political opponent, is how they are going to exaggerate his statement of peacefully go walk over, you know. And that the Constitution already has multiple checks to prevent vindictive prosecution of a former chief executive. And I only want to say, if the Constitution already has those multiple checks, how are they working out right now with Trump being sued politically? Alvin Bragg, Fonnie Willis, Letitia James, Judge Engeron, E. Jean Carroll, changing the law so that it opens back up this old ancient case she can't even remember, just so they can uniquely prosecute Trump. I think that is in the Supreme Court's face right now. They're aware of what's happening, and they're going to go, you know, you're saying absolute presidential immunity, and how about just some regular, normal, same-o presidential immunity? The justices ultimately focused on whether a president's official acts could be criminally prosecuted. If so, what distinguishes official acts from private ones? Justice Brett Kavanaugh, a Trump appointee, suggested that prosecutors could only charge a former president under criminal statutes that explicitly state they can be applied to presidents, which Justice Sonia Sotomayor quickly pushed back on. Quote, if we say a president can't be included in a criminal law unless explicitly named, then that would bar the Senate from convicting him for high crimes or misdemeanors, unquote, she argued, because that means that Trump is not subject to the law at all. As Sotomayor has pointed out, there are only a tiny handful of criminal statutes today that explicitly name the president. In an analysis of today's oral arguments, states Dahlia Lithwick and Mark Joseph Stern explained that the court's conservative justices made it clear they disapproved of Smith's indictment of the former president. Quote, to at least 5 of the conservatives. Remember, we need just 5 of the 9. The real threat to democracy wasn't Trump's attempt to overturn the election, but the Justice Department's efforts to prosecute him for the act, unquote, they wrote. And that's all the good news you need on this one, guys. It's going our way. There's a little more frabba-jabba going on with Chief Justice Roberts because he really wants a 9-0 decision. He really wants complete unity by the whole court on this one. And he's got radicals, probably Sotomayor. This could be an 8-1 verdict, which again makes it look like, oh, it wasn't super convincing. So sometimes what they have to do is water down the statement to be more and more general to get all of the justices on board. Yeah. Because even though they get a technical win, they really want to have a united win on this, because the legal theory should be clear to the Supreme Court justices. And I'm not familiar enough with the ins and outs of even what Sotomayor brought up to make that kind of a decision. I only know that Chief Justice Roberts wants unity on this one. Let me know what you guys think. Does Trump swing on this one? Does he get in trouble? Or do the conservative justices come out and say he has normal presidential immunity? I'm Doug.
We already know, you guys. I already know what y'all saying in the comments, man. But again, there's a lot of tons out there that are not gonna call this out, man. They're not gonna bring you, you know, these kind of updates, this kind of news. You know, a lot of people are, you know, say they this and that, but they're silent, you know. So again, man, thank y'all for all the love, and again, and the negative comments, you know, and the people that are on the other side, you know. Again, there are tons of people out there that don't have, they know what's going on, you know, that they know exactly what's going on. They know how corrupt, you know, things have gotten, and all the corruption that has taken place. And actually, creators like myself and others, you know, have waken up a lot of people. Whether you dislike a title, or, you know, dislike something said, or don't agree with something, we've actually woken up a lot of people. And a lot of people have done extra research just after watching a simple video. Just being honest. I get emails every single day, you guys. I get threats every single day. I get amazing comments every single 2 to 3 minutes. We had over 20,000 comments in the last 3 weeks. Out of 5,000, out of that 20,000, 5,000 were hard to read. But again, we appreciate those comments. Just being real, man. I love you guys, and I'm always going to wish the best in all you guys' life, no matter what side you stand on, no matter, you know, we don't care what you look like, what you smell like. We don't care. We don't see color. We all bleed the same, and we all got to die one day. The spirit and the energy lives on forever. But that body you living in has to grow and get old, and eventually its time is up. So I'm wishing the best in your life, your kids' life. I encourage you to spread the love. Check up on your loved ones. Check up on your people, man. Times are getting crazier. And we're going to bring you guys updates. We're going to call all this crap out. We're not going to be afraid, man. I love y'all. Y'all have an amazing rest of the day. That you have an amazing, blessed, healthy, successful month in this May. And pretty soon, November will be here, baby. And we're going to crack open a cold one. I love y'all, man. Peace and love, family.